All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at customer care management. You guys sent over this fascinating article from Indeed.com over in the UK. It's from July of this year, and it's all about what companies are looking for when hiring for these roles. So whether you're thinking about a career move or already leading a team or just fascinated by like the inner workings of customer service, I think we're all going to learn a lot from this one.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by how this article really breaks down like the skills and qualities you need to really succeed as a customer care manager. It's a real peek behind the curtain of how they're hiring for these positions.
I know, it's so true. And they start off by highlighting these three, like crucial areas that interviewers really focus on. And the first one up is solid decision-making abilities. What makes this so important in the world of customer care?
Well, just imagine you've got this like frustrated customer, right? Their order hasn't shown up and they're calling in. A customer care manager can't just follow a script in that situation, right? They have to really assess the situation, weigh the options, make a judgment call that benefits both the customer and the company.
It's like they're constantly putting out fires, but also having to keep the big picture in mind, right? That
Exact.
takes some serious mental agility.
It does, and they have to do it under pressure. Often, like with limited information too. That's why interviewers ask those behavioral questions. They really want to see how you've handled tough situations in the past and like how you think about problem solving when things are stressful.
Yeah, so it's not just about having the right answer, it's about showing that you have a good framework for decision making. All right, that's really insightful. So, moving on to the second key skill, excellent interpersonal skills. This feels like it goes way beyond just being nice and friendly.
Oh, for sure. This is about communicating clearly, building a rapport, leading your team well. Because remember, the customer care manager is often the bridge
Yeah.
between the customer, their team, and like all the different departments in the company.
It's true. They need to be able to explain the customer's needs to their team, advocate for their team to management, and resolve any conflicts that come up. That's a lot of hats to wear.
Right. And then don't forget about like the emotional intelligence needed for this role.
Mhm.
You're dealing with people who are often stressed out, frustrated, sometimes even angry.
Yeah.
So being able to de-escalate those situations, empathize with the customers, and stay calm when things are tough is really, really important.
So this sounds like a role where you need to balance empathy with being assertive. Okay, on to the third must-have quality proactive problem solving. What does this look like in practice?
Okay, so instead of just reacting to problems when they pop up, a proactive customer care manager is always thinking ahead, spotting potential issues before they become these major headaches. They're looking at data, watching for trends, anticipating what customers need before they even say anything.
So it's about staying one step ahead of the game, looking at the data, finding patterns, and then putting solutions in place to prevent problems from ever happening.
Exactly.
That's smart. It's like turning a potential problem into a chance to make the customer experience even better. Interpersonal skills and proactive problem solving. I'm really excited to dive into the actual interview questions they use to see if candidates have these qualities.
Me too. I think you'll find some of these are pretty revealing. The first question that really jumped out at me was, how would you handle a difficult customer? Such a classic interview question. But, I think it says a lot about a candidate.
It totally does. The article gives like a sample answer, and it talks about active listening and empathy and taking ownership of the issue, which all seem pretty standard. But what are some things that like really impress you when you hear someone answer this question?
I'm always listening for those details that show the candidate can go beyond just calming the customer down. Like, do they really get to the heart of the problem? Can they find a solution that leaves both sides feeling good about it?
So it's not just about smoothing things over in the moment. It's about finding a win-win. Have you ever seen a customer care manager like go above and beyond and turn a totally negative experience into a positive one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I remember one time I was having just the worst experience with this online retailer. My order was delayed. They sent me the wrong thing. It was a complete mess. But the customer care manager I talked to was amazing. They took responsibility. They gave me a discount on the next purchase. And they even, like, expedited the shipping for free. It totally changed how I felt about that company.
It's amazing how good customer service can turn a frustrated customer into a loyal one. It's not just about fixing the problem, it's about making a good impression that lasts. All right, let's look at another question that stood out to me. How do you motivate your team, especially when they're dealing with those tough customers every day?
This is where those leadership skills are so important. The sample answer talks about recognizing people's achievements, having open communication, and creating opportunities for people to grow. All of those are important, but I think it goes even deeper than that. A really great customer care manager can create a culture where the team feels supported and appreciated.
Yeah, because it's got to be hard to stay motivated when you're always dealing with negativity. So how can a manager create that kind of positive environment?
Well, it could be as simple as, starting each team meeting with a moment where you appreciate people, highlight their accomplishments, or maybe giving them chances to do some professional development, some training, so they feel like they're always learning and getting better at what they do.
It's about showing your team that you value them, right? That you care out their success, not just hitting those customer satisfaction targets.
Okay, the next question that caught my eye was, how do you measure customer service success?
The article really emphasizes those key performance indicators or
Yeah,
KPIs.
KPIs are essential because they let you track your progress. You can see where you need to improve, and you can show how valuable the customer care team is to the whole company.
But it's not just about the numbers, is it? You have to use those insights to make good decisions and actually drive positive change.
Definitely. Like, think about customer satisfaction scores. A good customer care manager will not only track those scores, but they'll dig deeper. They'll want to understand why those numbers are what they are. Are there certain products or services that always get lower scores? Are there specific points in the customer journey that are frustrating people?
It's like connecting the data back to the human experience, right? And then using those insights to improve things for the customer. Okay, so we've talked about some core interview questions, but the article mentions a few more that go even deeper into like the nitty-gritty of customer care management.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones. I think those questions give us some really valuable insights, even outside of a job interview setting.
I'm really interested in the one about handling negative feedback. How would you respond to a customer who leaves a really bad review online? Because that seems like it could really hurt a company's reputation these days.
It definitely could. And it's tricky because it's all happening in public. But a good customer care manager sees this as a chance to show everyone, not just the customer who left the review, but anyone who sees it, that they
Sure.
care about customer satisfaction and they're going to do what it takes to make things right.
So it's about turning a negative into a positive, showing that they take feedback
Right.
seriously.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. It makes me think about the bigger picture here. The article focuses on hiring, but what about all the other things that are changing in customer care? Like technology, globalization, and how customer expectations are always evolving.
All of those are having a huge impact on the customer care landscape.
Hmm.
Like with technology, think about the rise of AI chatbots and self-service portals and all the interaction happening on social media. That creates a lot of opportunities, but it also creates challenges for customer care managers.
I know, it's like customer service is happening all the time now, 24/7 across all these different channels. How do you even manage a team in that kind of environment?
It takes a whole different set of skills. You need to be comfortable with the technology, you have to analyze data from all over the place,
Yeah.
and you have to manage people who might be spread out all over the world working different hours.
It's like they need to be a tech expert, a data analyst, and like a global diplomat all at the same time.
Pretty much. And then you've got globalization too. Companies aren't just serving local customers anymore. It's people from all over the world, and they all have their own cultural expectations.
So customer care managers need to be sensitive to that too. Are there any companies that you think are doing a good job of handling this global side of things?
One that comes to mind is this big e-commerce platform. They have customer support in multiple languages, 24 hours a day, and they put a lot of effort into localization. Their website, their marketing, even their product packaging is adapted to different regions and cultures.
That's a great example. It seems like personalization is becoming more and more important too. Customers want to feel like they matter, not just like another number.
Absolutely. Personalization is so important for creating a good experience. It could be as simple as using data to recommend products based on what they've bought before, or addressing them by name, or remembering their preferences.
It's about making that connection even when everything is digital. Well, this has been a really fascinating look at customer care management. We've talked about the key skills, looked at some tough interview questions, and even discussed some of the bigger trends affecting the industry.
It really shows how customer care isn't just a department anymore. It's a crucial part of a company's brand and how people see them.
It's true. It's all about those positive interactions that make people loyal and build trust. And ultimately, that's what leads to success in the long run. Well, I think it's time to wrap things up. But before we go, any final thoughts for our listeners?
This article gives us a great starting point for understanding customer care management. But I encourage everyone to keep learning. Look at those trends we talked about. Think about how technology is changing things and what it means to use data to personalize the customer experience. Those are the questions that are going to shape the future of this field.
They really are. And it's exciting to see where things will go from here. So, on that note, let's wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back soon with another interesting topic to explore. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep those customer service skills sharp.